Alright guys, it is time. I have done League 1, League 2, the Championship. Premier League is on this weekend. So, with that in mind, let's have a look at 5 bold predictions ahead of the Premier League season. It is fair to say that last season my bold predictions backfired massively. My bold predictions turned out to just be rather foolish. But which bold predictions am I going for this time around in the 2025-26 season? Now, just to reiterate, if you're not familiar with the bold predictions, these are predictions that I don't think are particularly likely, but I do think are very much possible, and I'm going to stick my neck out and say they are going to manifest in reality in this upcoming campaign. So, here are the 5 that I'm going for this season. The first one, and this shouldn't be a bold prediction, but with the state of modern football the way it is a bold prediction. I'm going to go for at least one of the newly promoted sides to survive. The last 2 seasons have seen every promoted side from the Championship, all 6 of them get relegated at an absolute canter. If you can get relegated at an absolute canter anyway. They were just not at the races at all. The gap in the terms of quality for the sides was just too much, but I think that's going to change this time around. Sunderland have invested massively in their squad. They've made some very shrewd signings, and obviously with 50,000 or so fans roaring them on in the Stadium of Light, I do think they got a chance. And I've gone for them to get an opening day victory as well against West Ham United on the weekend. Obviously, one game does not a season make, but still, I think they got a chance. Leeds United, of course, have always got a chance too. They have invested very heavily in the playing squad, of course, this season. And again, with 30-odd thousand fans at Ellen Road roaring them on, I do think they got a chance at survival as well. Burnley were the shrewdest side last season in the Championship in terms of goals conceded, and I think that'll serve them very well. They could be like Stoke back in the day under Tony Pulis, although hopefully with football it's a little bit more attractive than what we saw back in those days. But in all seriousness, I do think they've all got a chance to stay up. Do I think all of them will stay up? No. I think it's likely that one will stay up though. And if I had to pick one, I would probably go with Sunderland with the way things are at the moment. Leeds United, I think, are most likely to get relegated personally. They've got a fantastic attack, but they will be punished very heavily in the Premier League. Burnley, they will get some draws. They will be a very difficult side to play against, and that will serve them well. They could survive playing like that, of course, but we'll see what happens. In the form of Scott Parker and Daniel Farke, though, of course, we do have 2 managers that usually struggle in the Premier League. But we'll see what happens there with that one, guys. The next one, obviously we've got one of the sides staying up that's been promoted. That means that one of the established sides has to get relegated. And I'm going to go for Brentford. Now, I was tempted to go for someone like West Ham or someone like that, but I think Brentford are the most likely here. They've lost some really hugely talented players from their squad. Brian Mbeumo, Johan Wisser is rumoured to be leaving as well, Nathan Collins as well. The side is frankly being picked apart at the moment, and obviously they've lost Thomas Frank as well, their manager. They'll be going into a Premier League season for the first time, not under Thomas Frank. They've appointed their set-piece coach as well from last season as their manager, which is an unorthodox move. I think that'll go either one of 2 ways. It'll either be a disaster or be a very clever appointment. With it being Brentford, it'll probably be a very clever appointment, but the fact remains that relatively, I think they're massively at risk this season, but we'll see what happens. You know, Brentford, they always find a way. They've been fantastic since they've been in the Premier League, have the Bees, and I just think they're the most likely to be relegated of the established sides, but I could easily be wrong. Wolverhampton Wanderers are one of the favourites to go down this season. Could be them instead, but we'll see what happens. Next one. This pains me to say it because I really like watching them, and I like the fact that they are upsetting the established elite at the top of the Premier League. I'm going to go for Newcastle United to miss out on Europe this season. Yeah, I know, big one this, but there is method behind my madness on this one. They've lost quite a few key players of Newcastle United, but the main key players that they have missed out on in the transfer market will also hurt them. The likes of Benjamin Sesko, he looks certain to go to Man United at this point, and also, of course, Ugo Ekitike, who has gone to Liverpool as well, and they could well lose Alexander Isak as well, and that is a player they simply cannot replace. They cannot replace him. They'll get a boatload of money from Liverpool if they does go through that transfer, but overall I think they will probably lose him, and I think they're going to struggle because of it. I don't look at that side and think that they are particularly better than last season, and to stand still in the Premier League is to move backwards. So I think they're going to struggle to get back into Europe this season because it's so competitive at the top of the league. Now, to miss out on Europe in the Premier League these days means you probably need to miss out on the top 6. Quite a bold claim, I know, but honestly, if I look at it, I would say that top 6 is going to be made up of Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City, Chelsea, Aston Villa, and who knows, maybe someone like a wild Brighton, maybe someone like a Bournemouth, maybe even Nottingham Forest doing it again. I don't think it's particularly likely, but I think it's definitely possible. So we'll see what happens there. Bold call, I know. It's going to upset the Geordie lads. I know it will do, but I don't want to see it. I just want to reiterate, I don't want to see that. But I think we could see it. We'll see what happens though, guys. Speaking of sides to miss out in the top 6, you might well have noticed that I didn't mention Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur in the top 6. That's my next bold prediction. Obviously, both of them had an absolutely turgid season last time out, finishing closer to the relegation spots than the European spots. And I think they will improve. Man United do concern me, though, the fact that they've invested so heavily in strikers and not the rest of the team. So I think Man United will be mid-table, 10th, 9th, something like that. Tottenham Hotspur, I think they'll be a bit better. They'll be knocking on the door like Newcastle will be. But again, it's a big progression, a big thing to ask. They've not strengthened that much in the summer. James Maddison is going to miss the majority of the season. They've lost a big leader in Heung-min Son as well, though I do think it's the right time for him to leave. So, yeah, I'm going with both of those to miss out on the top 6, but that is a particularly bold one, I must say. Now, again, this one I don't think is particularly likely. I think the most likely winners of the league this season are Liverpool. I think they will likely defend their title. But let's go bold. Let's go fun. I've predicted this for the last 2 seasons, no, just last season. Arsenal to win the Premier League. They've got a chance. They have signed some really quality players, and they've finally got a proper striker as well in Victor Gyökeres. So they have the missing piece. Will it be enough to win the league? That Liverpool side looks scary good. Man City also look really good too. You can't count Pep Guardiola out really, but I do think it's going to be a bridge too far. I do think it's going to be between the North London Reds and the Merseyside Reds. Who's going to come out on top? I'm going to stick my neck out and say Arsenal. I think Liverpool are more likely, but I'm going to go for Arsenal. I think they've got a really quality squad. They've got to do it eventually, haven't they? They need to believe in the process some more. Come on, guys, you know. But yeah, I do think if they don't win the league this season, Arteta may go. It's a very controversial take, I know, but I can see it happening. Do I think that'd be the right move? Time will tell. Let's see if we get there, guys. But yeah, your thoughts on all this in the comments below. Have a great day wherever they're on the world today, and let's hope we have a fantastic opening Premier League weekend this weekend too, guys. See you very soon. Have a good one.